So there's this racist asshat on the internet, and his name is John Jafari. He's a popular YouTuber, he's a gamer, and Gizmodo, using the term comedian very liberally, calls him a comedian, which I have issues with. JonTron has a lot of interesting opinions on race, genetic predisposition, race relations in America. He's basically an alt-right fuckhead. JonTron, who forgets that he himself is non-white, he's half Hungarian and half Persian, which is really interesting to me because, you know, in the Trump administration, the country of his origin, his father being an immigrant, an Iranian immigrant, his country of origin is one of the banned 6 countries, so that's awkward. But yeah, he had a lot of scandalous things to say on this debate that he did with Destiny. Now, the debate is 2 hours long, and there are definitely some very interesting parts about it in the debate. I urge you to check it out if you wanna just, you know, feel better about yourself, because there's just really fucking awful humans on the internet, or really stupid people on the internet that portray themselves as intelligent because, you know, they're throwing pseudoscience out there and throwing facts. For example, one of the facts that JonTron mentioned was that Black Americans, or blacks in general, are genetically predisposed to commit more crimes than whites, regardless of socioeconomic background. And then he used this data from an article, pointing to some article on the Washington Post, if I remember correctly. But the article was actually about the incarceration rate of African Americans versus whites, and talking about why even for non-violent offenders, African Americans are targeted and arrested and have higher, a longer sentencing than whites do. The article was actually about discrimination in America. You fucking moron. But let's talk about all the racist shit that he said in this bullet point that I wrote out. That's the level of detail I put into this, because I'm probably gonna write about this for Facebook as well, because he's such a fuckhead. Okay, so all of the things that JonTron said, or the highlights, is this: foreigners dilute the gene pool. Black crime in America is the same as in Africa. He brought that up not once but twice. Racial issues can be summed up via mixing different colors of paint. Racism doesn't exist in America anymore. We fixed it. That's what he also said. Statistical data means nothing because Clinton lost the election, and statistical data was pointing to Clinton winning. Destiny wants to kill black people. Black Lives Matter is a violent organization. Do you see the irony there? Destiny wants to kill black people, and well, Destiny pointing the finger at Destiny, saying he wants to kill black people. The richest black man commits more crimes than the poorest white man, which is a data point that he made up in his mind. Tribalism is a valid theory. Immigrants are destroying every single country they are led into. America is going to become Mexico, but then also racism is over. But Muslims are organizing it to make it seem like Christians are protesting abortion clinics. So yeah. What's really interesting to me is that even though consistently he talked about immigration and wanted to make this like a more nuanced argument, the more objective, level-headed argument grounded in reason and facts, he just kept on saying racist shit about black people. Black people aren't immigrants, you fucking idiot. I mean, not according to Ben Carson, who himself is black, but said recently that, you know, black people are hardworking immigrants that came here in the bottom of slave ships. I don't know if you were quoting that, but you know, black people are by and large not immigrants. They make up for 13% of the population, and mostly we're here because of the slave trade. And also to not factor in the socioeconomic status of and the historical context given to different races and the race relations in America. If you think about up to even the 1960s, how black people were treated, it's just such an incomplete, such a stupid argument to even craft. What really worries me and upsets me is that there are people like JonTron out there on the internet posing as pseudo-intellectuals, and there are other racist morons, or at least morons that have this idea that inherently black people are worse than white people, that support these arguments. So then they're like, I'm gonna retweet this guy. I'm gonna follow this guy. This guy's very intelligent. He's talking about stats and data. Fuck you. That's all I have. Go on, sorry.
Hi, okay. Really think you summed it up pretty well. All I would say is that I know that the debate format is gaining a lot of popularity on YouTube right now, and so I was hesitant to watch this 2-hour video because sometimes they can talk over each other and they can be really painful. But if there is a positive to this video, although I emphatically disagree with all of JonTron's points, I thought that they debated each other really well and respectfully so that you were really able to hear the dialogue between them, and that was refreshing. Usually it is way more of sort of a screaming fight. And I think that history is just really not on JonTron's side, and a lot of the points that he brought up, there wasn't any analysis or articles that he could use to support the information that he was providing. And Destiny did a really decent job on calling him out, and I thought he had a really good point off the top where he was talking about the discrimination against Irish immigrants and how this country is a country born on immigrants, and ultimately that's what it comes down to for me, is that this country was founded as a melting pot, and when we should celebrate our diversity because that is where the country excels. So you really hammered it home, but that's really my 2 cents on the conversation.
It's just really funny to me when people talk about genetic superiority, and it's usually the people that look incredibly genetically inferior. Not because I'm not basing this off of how much melanin you have in your skin, but I'm basing this off of what a fat piece of shit you are, JonTron. You fucking like humanoid goblin fucking mixture, you Ted Cruz loving, fucking Donald Trump loving piece of shit. And I'm not saying this because I have friends that support Donald Trump. I'm not saying this because I'm intolerant to the intolerant. I'm saying this because he's a fucking asshole. Like he is. And you know what? We should treat assholes the way they deserve to be treated, like fucking assholes. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you're misguided, let me teach you. Fuck you. You're misguided. You made these opinions, which are ironically self-harming because you yourself are from a family of immigrants coming from Iran. You fucking moron. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
I think you nailed it.
Oh yeah, I need to do the outro, sorry. But we wanna hear from you guys. Is JonTron a piece of shit? Or is he the worst piece of shit on the planet? I'm Hasan Piker, this is Grace Bollinger. Don't forget to like this video, smash that fucking like button if you hate racism, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.